All right, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So we're going to do a little unboxing of this Vestaboard Note display. These aren't shipping, I think, until September, but I emailed the founder, told him I wanted to do an integration with Pixelcade, and he was like, hey, let me ship you one tomorrow. So thank you for that. And so as you can see, it comes in a nice sturdy box. So let's just unbox this guy. Here's some instructions. Oh, this is like a mounting template because we're going to eventually mount it on the wall, so that's pretty nice. Let's keep that for later. This looks like a little wall mount thing because we want to mount it on the wall, so that's awesome. I ordered the version without the frame, so this is frameless. And I'm not sure what this is. Oh, I think this is just to keep it sturdy while it's shipping. And here we go. So it is quite heavy. Here's the back. That must be the wall mount. Looks like we've got a little Ethernet there. I'm assuming it's got Wi-Fi as well, but this thing is like super sturdy. This is heavy duty, so this is no joke. So first thing I want to show you is high scores. So let's see, let's go here, pick a game that has high scores. All right, so those are the high scores for this game. You can see it's displaying there on the Vestaboard. So next demo I want to show you is showing some in-game stats on certain games we have, like for example, this particular game is Galaga. Okay, so we're going to launch the game, and it is again going to show you the high scores. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, this is a system called Pixelcade, which is an active marquee. And then one of the things we do is also these in-game effects. So as I'm shooting stuff, not all games, but certain iconic games like Galaga and 1942 and other ones, Pac-Man, etc., we have in-game effects, which is what you see here. And so one integration that we've done is we show these stats. So as I clear each level, it's going to show you how many shots you did, how many misses, etc. And that is going to display on the Vestaboard like that. So as you can see, we're on the second stage. We did 74 shots. We had 43 hits. So kind of cool. That's an in-game effect that we have. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is there's this other thing called RetroAchievements. And that's this whole other system. You should check it out. It's really cool. RetroAchievements.org. And as you play kind of these retro games, some of them have various in-game achievements you can do. So I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick a Atari 2600 game. Pick Berserk. And this one has a retro achievement. So it's also going to say now playing. So this doesn't have high scores. So if there's no high scores, it'll just tell you which game it's playing. Like you just saw that. Update on the Vestaboard. And then as I play this game, once I hit 1,000 points, you're going to see a retro achievement flash on Pixelcade, and that's also going to update on the Vestaboard. Okay, so watch the Vestaboard and watch Pixelcade. There's our retro achievement. So we'll do some LED flashing. We'll see the retro achievement flash on Pixelcade as well as on the Vestaboard. So Pixelcade has these other widgets, including an attract mode that lets you do a slideshow of all these widgets. So we've also started to integrate Vestaboard in some of those. So I'll show you a quick demo of that. Here's the weather. Okay, here's stocks. So this is going to start an earthquake monitor that's going to show you various earthquakes around the world. And as each earthquake scrolls, it's going to update on the Vestaboard as well. Here's a sports scoreboard. Let me see what league I have it set to right now. Okay, NFL. NFL hasn't started yet, but it should show you upcoming games. Okay, this one's called Retro Trivia. Still kind of working on this one in terms of the... Oh, this one actually have set to French. So, not sure. Yeah, that's probably not going to display anything because I think we're only doing English right now. Yeah, so that's throwing it up. Okay, let me, just for fun, let me put that back to English. Okay, we're back in English. Let's see if that works. There we go. Okay, so that was Retro Trivia. Let's see, we did Retro Achievements. This one's kind of fun. This is called Planes Overhead. And so this will show you all of the planes over your head, basically within a certain vicinity that you define in the app settings. And as each plane is tracked, it will show up on the Vestaboard. So let's just let it scroll through the first set of intros here, and then it should show some flights. Okay, so there's a flight, shows you it's descending, ascending, cruising, how fast. So this will scroll 3 times on the Pixelcade, and then it'll update again. You can configure that. You'll also notice kind of that radar type animation going on the LED strips. That's also part of the app. All right, so that's planes overhead. So we got YouTube stats. So for the YouTubers out there, if you want a cool display showing your YouTube channel. Okay, so you can see the time zones there. Let's see, countdown. I think I did this one. So this is kind of fun. It's just like a countdown tracker. I may have missed a couple, but basically you get the idea. So we've started to integrate the Vestaboard in some of the widgets, which will kick in when your arcade machine goes into screensaver track mode. All right, so here's how to set up your Vestaboard in the Pixelcade software. So just use the Pixelcade Companion app. I'm on a Mac, so I'm running Pixelcade Companion. You can also run this as an iOS app on your iPhone or on your Android. So just pick your Pixelcade and go over to Settings. We've added a new tab here called Vestaboard. And you can select if you have the Vestaboard Note, which is what I have, or the flagship. At the time of this recording, you have to get an API key, so I'm not sure how that will work eventually, but that's how we have it set up right now. You can click here, it'll auto-detect it on your network, so you don't need to worry about IP addresses or anything like that. And then just hit Enable Vestaboard. You can do a little test message here if you want, just to test connectivity. And then you can also customize. So you can decide which events you want the Vestaboard to trigger. So let's say, for example, it's too much and you don't want it on, say trivia, but you want it on these other ones. And then Vestaboard has kind of different transitions, the way the things flip. So that's kind of cool. And you can actually customize that per event as well. So that's kind of nice. So you can play around with that. But yeah, that's how you set it up. So very similar to anything else in Pixelcade, just go into settings, set that up, and away you go. But that's what we got so far. So would love any feedback on this. It is kind of an expensive display. They're not cheap. I paid for this out of my own pocket. It was $1,000 for, this is the Vestaboard Note, which is their smaller version. They've got a larger version, which I also wrote support for it in the software. So if you happen to have their flagship model, it's $3,000. Could do more characters, but the Pixelcade software will support that out of the box. But let me know, because I haven't tested it yet. So call me if you happen to have that one. And like I said, I think it's kind of a niche thing, but I think it's super cool. Comes with a nice little wall mount bracket, so I'm going to mount this on the wall, find a home for it. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and would love your feedback on this idea.